So I want to talk a little bit about the WeDash program you mentioned.
Sure.
I think you said 99.9%.
Last year, 2022, that was the metric.
I'm guessing that's what, thousands or tens of thousands of...
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Of DoorDash employees out there doing deliveries. I mean, I really believe it's important to, sincerely, understand what we're doing.
Yeah, well, I kind of really like that because, a few of the comments you made, it sort of made me think like you've been out there dashing, right? Certain restaurants maybe, want to avoid, not going to name any names, right? Certain restaurants are a little slower, certain types of orders, certain ones where you maybe have to do shopping, or compared to just
that's what, but even on that one, Harry, though, but it's not even about the avoidance of those restaurants, right? It's about better understanding the why and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like if you think about how a city works, that's the way I think about how our business works. We have to be a digital representation of everything that happens physically. And sometimes in software, we like to just talk about writing beautiful software that just does, the job, and we, forget about the edge cases or just take a small amount of customization on the edge cases. In the physical world, everything is an edge case. So you can't just say, oh, there's that restaurant that takes forever, or that store that has stockouts all the time, and therefore we should just ignore them.
Yeah.
Well, they're part of our communities, right? They represent the personalities. Maybe that restaurant that has a long wait time is just really popular.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Maybe they just had a bad day and 2 staff members decided not to show up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they're not a part of the community.
I guess that's sort of the challenge, right? Because as a dasher, you do kind of think about if I have to wait, that's kind of why I like the earn by time, because now if I'm waiting extra,
totally, you don't have to think about it.
I don't have to think about that, right? In the past, sometimes we hear this complaint from gig workers, right? It's like, oh, it'd be so nice if I could just go out, deliver, no need to worry about all these things. But really, my whole business is kind of about let's figure out which restaurants to avoid, right? Because if you avoid those, you will literally make more money, right, by, avoiding certain
things. And that means we didn't build a good enough product, right? Yeah. If we built a product where it feels like some participant should feel like they must avoid another participant, right? Remember, it takes 3 to tango here, right? Consumers, merchants, and dashers, and we are all part of the same orchestration on the same order. We're all part of the same team, right? And so if we built a product as a platform where one of those participants, has some negative incentive with another, we have to solve for that. Yeah. We can't just say, oh, you know what, that's an edge case.
I think one thing a lot of dashers forget too is that this is a 3-sided marketplace. Yeah. So if you were, if you had a dasher, if you had lots of dashers that you were talking to, for example, and you could kind of, what do you think dashers don't understand about either customers or merchants, right? Because I think it's easy, they're it's almost like behind the scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go, you pick up, you drop off, since the pandemic, you don't even see your customer's face anymore, right? That's good and bad, right? It's not as personal, right? So what would you tell dashers hey, what do you not think about? What should you know or consider about the merchants or the customers?
What I would tell dashers, or frankly, merchants or even consumers, is that it does take 3 audiences to make one order successful every single time, right? And we as a platform have to solve for all of us and to make sure that, sustainably we can keep growing the GDPs of these cities, which is great for jobs, which is great for earnings, which is great for sales for local businesses, and it's great for consumers. And so we have to think about all of those parts. But I totally get it. Look, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? And I've been on deliveries where, oh my gosh, why did the app take me to somewhere so far? Or why did I have to wait 20 minutes in line for, I've been a part of those really tough dashes, and that's a problem. We got to go fix, right? We're going to go fix it, right? And this idea of incrementally solving each one of these edge cases to smoothing them, that's, really what it took, candidly, to get a product like Earn by Time even shipped. That's why we couldn't just ship it in, a month or 2. Yeah. It took literally years of, working every one of these edge cases where it got polished enough where we felt like we could roll it out.
Got it. So what are some of the other, I guess, things you've discovered while WeDashing, either from you or, maybe the team that have, now been implemented in this product rollout?
There's a Slack channel devoted to all of the WeDashes by anyone in the company. And it is just hit after hit after hit of app bugs around, just how difficult the app is, sometimes to use. We have to do a better job there, so we're working on that. Challenges with some of the things we've actually kind of discussed, whether it's getting the wait times wrong, getting the order to supply ratios off, the sitting around waiting for no orders problem that you talked about. We're or just realizing, you know, hey, why are we dashing from a particular store that seems to be either closed or super busy when there's another store that's literally selling the exact same things that's actually open and available. Yeah. I mean, there's literally all sorts of things that I know. I don't think there's a single dash, and I've done almost 1,000, where I haven't learned something new. And again, because if you think about what DoorDash, the ultimate problem that we're solving, we're trying to build a digital catalog for the physical world. So we're always going to find challenges, right? And it's not, we're not criticizing the store that's taking longer or the store that has a stock gap. We're trying to help them. We're trying to understand, like, okay, maybe we predicted incorrectly, you know, something about your store. If we did a better job doing that, then the dasher maybe would not have waited, you know, or that, you know, the inventory would have been there.